All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Side Seat Podcast, episode 12. And today we have a quick guest with us because we are being hosted once again by the Skeleton Key. So thanks for having us, Brandy. So we hear, we'll get the stuff up later with the address and all that. But what is it exactly? You got something going on?
We do. We just started our farmer's market up again for our second season.
You don't look like a farmer.
I don't. Not much. No overalls or anything.
Yeah.
But sometimes I rock the pigtails.
Yeah,
That's about as close as I get.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
I need extra money.
That's your midnight job, right?
I can see you with the overalls too, really.
He's going there after this. So farmer's market.
Farmer's market in our parking lot, Sunday afternoons from 12 to 3.
And that's every week over the summer?
That is every week over the summer. We're going to go until the weather tells us to quit.
Oh, there you go. All right. Yeah, because everybody loves a good farmer's market, right?
That's right. We've got locally produced crafts, and we've got produce coming as soon as it warms up a little and quits raining.
Yeah. And so will the store be open here, too?
The store is open.
Okay.
Yeah, sure is.
Right. Well, I'm excited that there's another farmer's market going on, because sometimes...
When on this side of the river, no fighting bridge traffic.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to jump over and blah, blah, blah with those people over there, because it gets really busy. So it'll be nice to support local places. So
we don't aim to be the biggest. We'll just be the best eventually.
There you go. Perfect. That's all you can ask for. So thank you for having us, Brandy.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Make sure you guys check out the farmer's market. So, yes, we have the xylophone back since we were at the Skeleton Key. So we'll put all the info for the Skeleton Key. They're also on Facebook, along with the Side Seat Podcast, along with the Quad City Music Lovers, Collectors, and Traders.
Bam, got it.
Yes,
He did.
Right, I did.
I took episode number
12, yeah. So make sure you guys go like all that stuff on Facebook. Make sure you go check out Rolling Smoke Barbecue in Rock Island behind Kavanaugh's. Make sure you get a hold of Mark Reedy, the pool man, for all your above and below ground pool needs. In-ground pool needs, yes, sorry.
So buy a swimming pool.
Yes, buy a swimming pool so Mark can come help you out. He helps Eric out, I know that for sure.
Does he do wading pools?
Probably. Yes.
The little blue pools you get at Kmart? Does he do those?
I think you could probably do
Yeah, you can do your own.
Just pour some bleach in them.
There is he did do an above ground pool right on 18th Avenue, right next door to Poor Boy's Pizza. He put a 8-foot above ground pool in.
Nice.
8-foot round.
That's
I bet
awesome.
the Poor Boys people love that. So.
It's right across the street. It's right on 18th Avenue right there. It's over there's privacy fence. You can look through it. You can see that.
There's an 8-foot pool there.
Yeah,
Right?
8 foot above
That's
ground.
super duper.
Well, there you go.
Are they doing dirty stuff in there?
Probably, yeah. Probably
Poor
naked
Boys is
every
the
day. So again, make sure you guys check out our amazing sponsors. And again, I am Victor Martinez, joined...
You said amazing sponsors.
Oh, damn it, whatever. They are, though, aren't they? Are you not?
Yes,
are they not amazing?
they're fantastic.
They're fantastic. As always, I'm joined by Mr. Eric Nesbitt, a.k.a. Nez for short. Jake Quake, the pride of Barstow Turner. He is here today with us as well. And our newest addition, which we'll probably stop calling him new here in about a week or so.
because Neil Peart is still called the new guy in Rush.
All right. Well, then
Brian Johnson is still called the new guy in AC/DC.
So the new guy to the Side Seat Podcast, Matthew Wilkins. So thank you guys. So there you go.
So I think am I like Jason New Guy? Is that like, remember when they call him, instead of Jason Newsted, they call him Jason New Guy?
Yeah.
Is that my new title? Because I think
Matthew
everybody has a
New Guy.
kick-ass.
Yeah.
Everybody has a kick-ass nickname but me.
I don't have that, man.
there you go.
Victor.
Matthew,
Nez,
new
Quake,
guy,
new
Wilkins.
guy. Vic. That's
Vic
pretty
is cool.
standard.
Vic is a guy
Vic Damone.
Yeah, Vic Damone. Yeah, there you go.
Vic is a guy that drives a
I can't
Cadillac.
sing
Vic
like
is the guy
him.
you gotta know. You know, Vic, him and Jimmy
Bada
Bag of
beep,
Donuts.
bada
They're gonna
boom.
boom, boom. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
But anyways, okay, Vic Damone. There we
He's,
go.
he's Mexican, so
Yeah.
he can't talk like that.
Well,
Excuse me,
so,
talk like that.
excuse me, so did you have any frijoles?
no, there's no
Wow, he's
Victor
one of our
Valdez.
racist
I don't.
sons.
Yeah. All right, let's
Viva
enough of that
Raza!
before we get into some.
Let me speak on this.
There we go. So, let's get right into the news, guys. And I know Matt, you're excited about this one, the new Iron Maiden double album.
Yes.
Jake's
I was
one.
fully tort with the new Iron Maiden album, and I know Mitch Woods likes to talk about how they have what did he say? I forgot. He called it something terrible and offensive, talking about their lyrics.
About elves and dwarves.
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons or something. But Iron Maiden, if you listen to an Iron Maiden album, I guarantee you are having to have a history lesson. You will learn something listening to Iron Maiden, and Iron Maiden has been the status. I mean, you have to live up to them. everyone else would follow suit. So
I think
very, very, very good.
I think a lot of people take influence from a lot of that, especially in the kind of music that we like. So, Book of Souls, September 4th, that's going to be a good one.
It's a double.
Yeah, double album.
It's
yeah.
going to have a DVD, a VHS, a beta, a reel-to-reel,
Laser
and a
disc.
laser disc,
Yep.
all in this box set.
Yep.
Shit ain't funny, Ness.
That, I think I would love that. You know how much that would go for? It would be. So
People would buy it. That's the sad
but
part.
They would.
That's going to be exciting for a lot of
Yeah, because like a Metallica live album, they'll buy that.
The whole box set.
It's going to be exciting for
the
a lot
preppy
of
kids in their tucked-in
ol-
T-shirts.
older fans of Iron Maiden and a lot of the new kids that are listening to it nowadays with their T-shirts. Well, I'm sure they don't know who Uncle Eddie is or whatever.
The crazy thing is, man, when
that the
I saw
best?
we saw Iron Maiden a few years ago up in Chicago, and they played a lot of the old stuff, and they sold out Tinley Park, and it was sold the hell out. It was Dream Theater and Iron Maiden, and they sold out, and that night was explosive.
They sell it everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, forget about it. 400,000 people in Rio.
Yeah,
Come on.
Right.
They do Rock in Rio. 400,000 people show up. That's why.
that's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
So-
Although
that
Rush
fear-
did the Rock and Rio thing, did the same thing, and then they come to Quad Cities, they couldn't sell 4,000 tickets for the iWireless.
Rush sucks.
But
Hey, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Here we go.
I'm sorry, I
was
can't
in the
get
upper
past
bowl.
Geddy Lee's goddamn voice. Alex Lifeson and Neil Peart,
Peart, yeah,
love him. My brother Jason and I, Neil Peart fans for days. You watch when he was on David Letterman, you're like, Neil Peart is the god of gods. And then fucking Geddy Lee comes up, it's like, really? Really?
Is that your orgasm?
Wait till
voice?
this. No. No. It's much different than that.
Okay.
It's something about Satan when I get off.
Yeah, there you go.
But when his balls drop, Rush would be a great band.
Well, would you been a bigger fan if it was Geddy Lee on bass and a different vocalist?
Yeah.
That's a lot of people say that.
Well, no, but the thing is now, I don't think it's obviously
Because
way
listen,
too far to
if
go
you
back now.
okay, here's the problem. There was a band from St. Louis, Missouri called Pavlov's Dog. If you don't know them, go to YouTube, look up Pavlov's Dog. The guy who was the singer for Pavlov's Dog actually rips off Geddy Lee. It will disgust you because the guy's goddamn voice is as horrible as Geddy Lee's voice.
I like Geddy Lee's
I
voice.
don't have a
Yeah,
problem with it.
it's
It took a
what
If
while
you
to
like
do-
stuff that
yeah.
sucks, it's okay.
It's what Rush is, and I
Yeah.
think there's no obviously there's no going back.
Here's the
I
thing.
was-
They're
I love my
fine.
brother Jason. He's probably going to listen to this, and he's a huge Rush fan, and so awesome. But yeah,
I was at an establishment last Saturday.
You're at a bar.
I was at Doc's Inn.
You're at a bar.
Yeah, I was at a bar. So I was like playing on my phone. Had the jukebox on there. Had Rush 2112. I was like, oh sweet. Going through, I was like, they have the whole first side of Rush 2112 for 1 credit. 20 minutes of
one
pure
credit?
1 credit.
that's the
Pure
thing, though, man.
rock.
I will not lie. I have jammed the hell out to Rush. The Temple of Syrinx. Come on.
Yes.
The Trees. That song. I don't care what you say about that song, even though it's a dumbass song. It's still a good song.
But you just got done ripping on Geddy's vocals, and
His voice sucks,
no,
dude.
it doesn't. It's what it is.
2112 is one of those vinyls that I found in that little crate
Oh,
that
yeah.
my
You're right.
Oh, dude.
other mother gave me. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty stoked to have that anyways. But
2112 is an amazing
you
record.
know who else may or may not suck according to some people's opinions? Dave Grohl. You cannot deny that man is fucking amazing after breaking his leg midway through the concert and then coming back and finishing the concert.
Dave Grohl is
I broke my
ambassador
leg
for
when we
rock
started
right
this
now.
podcast. I'm sorry.
And he's still doing it. So are you Dave Grohl caliber?
Dude, I am cool with that.
Are you going to cancel the rest of your podcast though?
I would have
No.
to say he's not amazing. I would say
Okay,
he's pretty awesome.
He's
for
pretty
doing that.
goddamn awesome. So
You know, we just got done discussing this on the
Yeah.
page with that new guy that showed up and started saying A7X is like the best band in the world. But
oh,
no,
yeah.
you know,
Oh.
Despirito, DeSanto.
yeah,
what the
that
hell is
guy. I mean, he's
Anyway.
actually I got notifications.
Oh, you
from
mean
him.
the Avenged Sevenfold guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, I when,
that
when,
dude's
when it comes to Foo Fighters,
There you go.
Dave Grohl, the one thing I've always respected from him is that obviously everybody knows him from Nirvana. That's no doubt. But I have never once heard Foo Fighters cover Nirvana live.
Yeah.
They've never went back on that. They never covered Sunny Day Real Estate, which is the rest of the members of the band. You know, it's just one of those things.
My thing is this. My thing with Dave Grohl is I don't give a real. I'm not a huge Nirvana fan. I was way more into Mother Love Bone and all that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
exactly.
Mudhoney and Green River and those guys.
Yeah.
But everything he's done outside of the Foo Fighters is gold.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
The Sound City, if you watch the
Yeah, oh,
Sound
yeah,
City
definitely.
stuff
Yeah.
and the music, I got every song he did on the Sound City soundtrack on my phone.
Yeah.
Which he did
because
one with Stevie Nicks too. I
Stevie
think,
Nicks,
Yeah.
Paul
he did,
McCartney.
oh, come on. Okay, everyone who knows me really well knows I'm a little bit gay for Rick Springfield.
Okay.
He does a song with Rick
Right,
Springfield
he
on
did.
there
Yeah.
that kicks your ass.
Yeah.
It will kick your ass every time.
That, I mean, just the whole Sonic Highways documentary.
I mean, he
The
does a song with
documentary's
he does a
awesome.
song. Okay, he does a song with Josh Homme and the dude. What's it? Trent Reznor.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh yeah,
it's like
they performed at the
he's
Grammys.
like
Yeah.
he's probably
Oh.
he's probably sitting there thinking, I want to see the two biggest egomaniacs in rock and roll right now and get them on a song.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that
And
I
it
remember
works.
that performance pissed me off because they cut it short at the Grammys.
Yeah.
They gave it like 2 minutes and then they're like, let's pay for our bills and fucking put commercials on. I'm like, that's lame.
That's why we do it
Here's
before
my
we start.
synopsis on Dave Grohl, and I respect everything that he's done.
Yeah.
The Nirvana stuff, the Foo Fighter stuff. I almost think that he's more effective on the business end, the production side of things, getting people together to work on things. I mean, I'm not saying he's not a badass musician because
Right.
obviously he's multi-talented.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is that I think he's more effective when he did the whole Probot thing.
Yeah.
When he did the
Yeah.
Oh, Probot was
the
awesome.
Probot. He's more effective. I
Yeah.
think he's more effective that way.
Shake
he's
Your Blood with Lemmy.
Exactly.
You know,
when he did the executive, when he's an executive, when he's the mastermind behind a creative process, that's his genius.
And not only that, he stays old school. The last record was not Sonic Highways, but was it Wasted Light? Was
Yeah,
that the last?
wasting light.
Was recorded reel to reel in his studio. He's like, you don't need.
The Sound City board.
the Sound
Yeah.
City board.
Yeah, it's like you don't need a lot of money to record a great freaking record, you know. And he did it, and I mean, like, it's just, you learn the songs, you play them all the way through. You don't learn the verse, record it, and then
Yeah.
place it where it needs to go in the song. That's not how you play.
Yeah.
You know.
This is straight through with that. So I think that's pretty sweet. So like I
Well,
said,
obviously,
we're-
he's an entrepreneur. Obviously, he's made a lot of money for himself. Obviously, money's not an object for him, so he can do all these creative ventures, which I think that makes him more of an effective in the music industry.
yeah.
Yeah, he's got.
It's
got.
like kind of taking what he knows and
Yeah, I think he's a brilliant mind. I'm really glad that, and he's one hell of a performer.
I know what I wanted to bring up about news. Did you guys see that they're bringing them? They're doing Mad Season. They're redoing the Mad
Yes,
Season
Yes.
again
with Chris Cornell.
which I think
Duff
is a
too,
big
right?
pile of shit. Because two of the members of Mad Season are dead.
yeah.
So leave it be.
Yeah.
so
I'm sorry that I interjected.
No,
all
that's
this,
fine.
Because
That's
the Dave
fine.
Grohl thing led me to
Yeah,
the Mad
yeah.
Season thing. You might, Matt, you might think differently. You guys might think differently about it.
I see it with you. I know that's like Mad Season's like your favorite record of all time, right?
Favorite record of all time.
So I understand where, like, if it's like for you, if it's not everything what it needs to be, it's it's not
Okay.
right, and I completely understand that. For me, I think it's kind of cool to see something different, but I understand where you're like, fuck that shouldn't happen, and I would completely respect you for it.
No, I agree with Nez. They should call it Johnny's fucking Donut Shop or something else. Don't call it Mad
Well, like,
Season.
Right,
well,
that's fair. That's fair.
well,
If you recall, let's go back. I think it may have actually been when we were here at the Skeleton Key. I said that I didn't think that fucking Alice in Chains should have been called Alice in Chains.
Right.
I agree.
And this is the same thing. Chris Cornell, great vocalist. I love Soundgarden. I'm a huge fan, and I love grunge. But no, don't do it. Do something else. You're putting Mad Season on it because you want all the guys who are my age to be like, oh, Mad Season, I remember that. Oh, it was so beautiful. Let me buy your goddamn CD. No, it's a turd ball. Don't do it. I agree with Nez 100%.
you're gonna listen to it, right? Are you gonna listen to it?
I don't know if I don't really know because Chris Cornell's vocals have no place with Lane Staley's vocals.
No.
Lane Staley's vocals would sound absolutely turd-like if he was on Louder Than Love.
Correct.
Well, that's
With
just
Soundgarden.
it. That's just it. It's lightning in a bottle. It's when you take these things and you put them on
Yeah.
tape. Anytime you do anything like that, every once in a while, it doesn't matter what band you're in. You could be you could be the Rolling Goddamn Stones, or you could be Jimmy's Bag of Donuts in the trunk of your car.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you will hit that mark,
Yeah.
and you'll write a song. When I was in Dr. Manga, we had a song, and every time we played it, everybody was like, "Hell yeah!" Even if it's just one song.
You got that one song.
You got that one song, that sound, that's your sound. You can't say Mad Season. It'd be like, okay, it's like when you go see Cheap Trick, or not Cheap Trick because I think all the original members, but let's go see Kansas. One guy is like 80 fucking years old from Kansas, and everybody else is 24 years old.
I look at it like this. It's like if you're trying to put Mick Jagger in the Beatles, if you're trying to put John Lennon in the Rolling Stones, it doesn't work.
That is fair. That's fair.
There you go.
I will say though, I will listen to it just for curiosity
Yeah.
purposes. You know.
Well, that's why. I mean, I'm sure
I'm
we
sure I'll
will.
bump into it and I'll have to listen
So that's
to
why I
it.
was asking.
Yeah,
because
you know you're gonna. Get
I
a
have no
shot.
huge desire to hear it at all. I liked it when you posted it, simply because I was like, oh, cool. And then I read it, and I was like, what?
I mean, they're going to
With
put
that.
Duff McKagan on bass, and they're going to put Chris Cornell on vocals. They're going to keep Barrett Martin on drums and Mike McCready, obviously, on guitar.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand there's two major components that are still alive, but your vocalist is dead.
Yeah.
I mean, like
You know?
honestly, like bass player being gone, not that big of a deal. If it's, you know,
bad.
you know what I mean. It's not like if it's, so you can't really use Lemmy because Lemmy it'd be like some of you placing Flea, because Flea's got that distinctive
Yeah,
song sound.
Well, it's like when they took John Frusciante out of the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
I'm
But
sorry,
Dave
even
Navarro-
when Dave Navarro came
he couldn't do
in,
it.
whom I love, Dave Navarro was an amazing guitar player.
It doesn't
Ring the
fit.
bell.
It doesn't fit. It doesn't
didn't
fit. Right.
It didn't
No.
fit with Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, no, it really didn't. It should have been a
there's this-
different band.
There's things. Why is Chris Cornell even wanting to do this to himself? I would have more validity.
Money, that's why he wants to do it.
I understand
Because
his money. I understand his money. But then pull William Duvall from the Alice in Chains,
Who sucks?
He sounds more like Lane Staley than
he would-
Yeah,
he would
I mean,
probably
you would
do that.
respect him taking over doing the
Yeah.
Mad Season stuff than Chris Cornell.
It's like it sounded like.
Yeah.
Honestly, but in recent
Money. You're
Well,
right.
Jerry
But
Cantrell
that goes-
doing it.
Yeah.
But that goes back to what we were talking about last week with Joe Lynn Turner and all of that shit with Deep Purple.
Yeah.
Instead of letting these people stand alone and be their own people, you try, okay, we want to sound alike. So let's get the guy from Alice in Chains, who we've been, forced upon for 2 albums now, and let's let him do it because he sounds just like Lane. No, he doesn't. No one sounds like Lane Staley.
Nobody
Lane
sounds.
Staley.
You're right, but it's
No.
a closer call
And so
than
you
Chris.
shouldn't call it Mad Season.
But
you
fair
should
enough.
call it, happy
right.
season.
You're right, but it's like-
or
Happy
open
season.
season or whatever you want to call it.
Open season on Grunt.
But you're getting totally. What I guess in all of this, what I'm trying to say is that you're getting totally opposite vocals.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris Cornell is nowhere in
No.
Lane Staley's range, and Lane Staley's nowhere in Chris Cornell's range.
No, not at
But
all.
what I could say is, what we're talking about right now is like we maybe could put Jerry Cantrell there, and it might do it.
Well,
They
because-
might-
The timbre of Jerry Cantrell's voice is different.
it is,
No,
but they
yeah.
might be able to get away with it better.
A better sound is what you're saying.
I still don't agree
This'll
with the
be-
name Mad Season.
this'll
I think
be
they need to start
open
It's
season.
the greatest album ever made.
There you
Former members of Mad Season plus,
Plus, there you
Guns
go,
N'
like the
Roses
Iommi
and-
thing,
right.
Iommi with
Exactly.
Black Sabbath or whatever.
Exactly.
So,
That's what they need to do instead of calling it Mad Season.
We'll leave it
Everybody's
at-
going to expect a Mad Season record,
we will leave it at
and they're not going to get one.
it coming out. We'll see how we feel about it.
We're
when
all
it
going to
comes
listen
out.
to it.
Yeah,
We know
definitely.
we are. But
Or it could be Chester Bennington and Stone Temple Pilots.
There you go. There you go. So, which I don't get.
I won't do it.
Anyway, so let's jump right into it, guys, because we're going back to the picks of the week, and I'll start us off because I know Nez is going to enjoy this one with me, as probably you are too, Jake Wilkins. I'm sure you will.
this is the first time I want to say this. This is the first time we've never posted our picks. Nobody knows
Because
what
nobody
anybody's
was on the same, because everything got flubbed up. Our special guest committed, decommitted, committed, and decommitted again.
Okay.
So, anyways, like I was
Let's
saying,
just say
let's just enjoy the
Aaron
moment.
Johnson.
Enjoy the moment now, because we are going to talk
Fuck, am I
about
scared?
we're going to talk about Ghost, or AKA Ghost BC.
Sure.
So
Papa Emeritus.
Papa Emeritus.
Okay.
Now, the reason I wanted to go into this because I went back and I gave Opus Eponymous another listen, their first debut album.
You say hippopotamus?
Opus Hippopotamus, yes. I gave it another listen, and I was like, wow, this is. I remember when Nez and I were talking about this in cafeteria full of kids one time about the commercial Satanism that
I love
was going
commercial
on.
Satanism.
He does.
Really?
And
Because
it's
he
the-
was one of the teachers that made us not wear KISS shirts at the school.
Oh,
we were
really?
in.
No. I had to go by
What?
what? No, I had to go by what
No,
administration
it was the
says.
rule. It was the
Yeah.
rules.
I didn't go by it.
Yeah.
I used to wear a Sepultura
Curtis,
shirt.
yeah.
Okay, hold on.
the
Let
soccer-
me just interject something. We'll get back to your
Sure,
ghost
sure.
piece.
Sorry, man.
When
I'm
I was in
sorry.
In a
high
second.
school, I had a teacher at my high school, Mr. Gary Bender, tried to tell me that I was not allowed to wear my Motorhead t-shirts or my pierced ear in my left ear because it was Satanism. You know what my
Yes,
you know
it
what my
is.
answer to him was? I said to him, and I quote, "Gary, get off my dick."
Okay, I am just a peon. I was a peon back then.
No,
I'm a
yeah,
peon
you-
now.
Dude,
No, it
it
was-
is
it
so
was-
unmetal. You
No,
are
I can't have
you're the
no-
mayor of the podcast.
What am
You
I
are the
supposed to
king
Wait
do?
a
of
second. I'm
Presidente.
mayor of what? What school is it? Barstow.
It was
Mayor-
Barstow.
Barstow.
No,
the mayor of
it's
Barstow.
called I have no choice. You have to follow what the administration, what the superintendent, what the school board says when you're a teacher.
Chuck.
Whether you agree with it or not. You have
Who
to,
cares?
you know.
I wouldn't agree with it at all.
It's called a paycheck.
Who cares? Because right now Nez is wearing a shirt that says "I pooped today." So,
Which it did.
He used to wear
It,
Sepultura
it,
t-shirts.
it was slightly 100. It was under 190 pounds, by the
There you
way.
So, anyways, back to
Sorry,
what it is. The
Sorry,
commercial
go-
Satanism that is Ghost BC. I'm gonna call him Ghost from here on out. The album, first off, was pretty good. I mean, it's a little bit different than what people were expecting when you classify it as metal, because it has more of an. Nez, would you say like not a retro sound, but older
It's
sound?
it's very harmonizing.
Yeah, that
Yeah, there you
too.
go.
But like as far as like maybe like a Blue Oyster Cult, maybe
I
older
think that you can-
70s.
There's definitely a 70s vibe there.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely something going on there that is not what you would consider metal.
It's not
or-
metal. No,
It's
Ghost
not-
is not metal.
It's not.
But that's what they classify them.
They're
Yeah.
classic rock.
Well, because they classify them as metal because they wear the face makeup and the
Yeah.
whole devil
'Cause
thing
it-
and all
It's
that.
like KISS 2.0.
And I was talking to somebody about this earlier, to my buddy Mitch, about how it's pretty much a gimmick, right? Like
No,
these guys,
they're very satanic.
they're very satanic, so they
Very
know. So,
Just like the Night in Satan service.
So it's like, yeah, it's the Kiss shirts. But anyways, that's what I was drawn to them for because everybody that has seen them has always said go see a Ghost show. They're pretty like dope when it comes to doing their on stage shtick. And I am gonna go see him in October or so. But Nez is kind of like. It's not going to be the original Papa Emeritus.
It's the third. It's the third.
Third incarnation
This
of
is
it.
the third
Mach
incarnation.
3.
Yeah, Papa.
So it's not
Papa
the
3.
actual.
No.
Now what I was reading is that it's the same person because there was one like interview that he said he's the brother who's slightly older than him by 3 months.
Is this kind of like
Is that-
when Kane and the Undertaker said they were brothers, but they weren't really brothers, but they were brothers?
But here's the thing: by 3 months, he's older than him
By 3 months?
Well, maybe
Okay,
his daddy
it's
was out
not-
getting around.
It's not the original.
No,
it's
no,
not the original.
the
Papa Emeritus.
mother. But yeah, I think you may be right. I'll just go under the assumption that
Have you seen what the new one looks like? He looks like a little boy in the bishop's hat. It looks like his ears are flopping down.
Dude,
like
the crazy
this.
thing about the original, that dude was imposing as hell. If he would have walked, no pun intended, but if he'd have walked up to you in a dark alley,
Yeah.
you'd have shit yourself and prostrated right in front of him. You'd have been like, come and take me into the Hades.
The original singer, I can't think of his name, but he was like in a like a Stone Roses type band. He's from
cool.
Sweden.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
he was in a thrash metal band. He played in like a indie rock band, and then he did this Ghost thing, which I thought was brilliant. He had 3 identities. It was pretty cool. I mean,
Alright.
And-
obviously he was dabbling in everything.
And then the identities thing with the players, with the musicians, they're all nameless schools, right?
Nameless ghouls.
Nameless schools. And there was I was reading about an interview where one of them was like, yeah, Dave Grohl dressed up as a nameless school one time and came and played with us. I would believe
I actually
that.
heard
How
that.
badass
I
would that
actually
be,
heard
though?
that.
Would
No,
you-
I've heard that too.
I mean, would you believe that? Like,
Well,
Yeah.
there was already a concert where Ghost opened up for Metallica at some festival or whatever else, and James Hetfield came out and fronted and did a duet with Papa Emeritus and whatever song they chose to do. I do not remember.
Crimson and Clover.
Yeah.
Stand with him.
Stand by me, right?
Yeah, there you go. There you
No,
go.
I like him. I think it's
I love
different.
this band. I
It's
love
something
this.
different.
I love the whole gimmick of it.
Yeah.
I have always been intrigued. Maybe because I'm a child of the '70s. I have always been intrigued with guys when they put on the makeup and they do the shit. Slipknot is the same way. I'm a huge fan of Slipknot, even though they're jackasses. I love that shit. Ghost is another band. When I mean, come on, and I said I was going to talk about this.
Yes.
I'm going to bring this up.
Please do.
What other band comes out with a special edition of their album with a dildo and a butt plug?
Yes.
Who's
A
that?
dildo
Ghost?
of
This
Ghost,
is Ghost, yep.
of Papa Emeritus as the dildo.
That is awesome.
Jake, you missed it earlier because he pulled it up, and it's pretty glorious.
You know, in my fraternity house, I'm doing in my undergrad. We in Lambda
You guys
Chi
use
Alpha,
dildos?
We had one dildo that sat on top of the fireplace. It was St. Peter.
St.
Yeah,
Peter.
man.
All
St.
right,
Peter,
well,
Papa
but
Emeritus.
now you have
That's a
nothing on
little
the
bit
Papa
gay,
Emeritus. Yeah.
LittleBitGay.com.
You have nothing on the Papa Emeritus dildo. So, but that's my pick of the week. But like I said, I think you guys enjoyed it because the music. I mean, the music's just the music, right? Like it's pretty traditional, I guess, as far as rock. But the lyrics are crazy. Pretty much Satan in every fucking song. So I
The
dig
thing
them.
about this
I love
is
them.
here's the thing, the Satan thing in music is overdone. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
These guys find a way. These guys find a way to make it funny and relevant, and you don't want to be like, oh my god.
The thing is,
seriously?
you can't shock anybody anymore. You really
No,
can't.
you can't. I mean, you know.
I think the last
Look at-
big shock
Look
rocker
at,
was Manson.
Well,
Honestly,
even if you look at Manson's last album, it was a turd.
yeah, I haven't listened to the last one yet. I heard it was okay
Don't.
from some people.
It was a turd. When he sang that song about his heart-shaped glasses, it's like that's the last Vato that needs to be ever heartbroken because he writes a shitty fucking album.
Yeah.
You know, it's a turd. It was a turd ball.
Well,
Completely.
hey man, I think
My heart-shaped glasses. Okay, no
anybody-
one cares about your broken heart.
if
Manson.
anybody had a nice try at trying to shock people, Ghost is it. Because at first I heard they didn't even want to let them in the country, or they didn't even have an American
Because they
distributor.
had a dildo box set. Come on.
They go, well, no, that was like the second album or something.
You know, you'd think that though the press and the public persona would be like immune to the commercial Satanism, but they
Yeah.
never do.
They never let it go.
No. Anytime
no,
you
no.
mention Satan, everyone's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
No. It's like, come on. Anymore, it's like, really? I kind of want to come out as like, I work for SafeLight. I'll be like, SafeLight's in with Satan. Then we'll start selling windshields.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, because Satan has your windshield.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, come on.
The press coverage
Whoa,
would be
what the hell
crazy
is
on that.
that?
So I need to get a new one.
Yeah,
but that was my pick of the week, Ghost Opus.
Good pick, brother.
Opus Hippopotamus.
Opus Hippopotamus. Hippopotamus. Good
Hip
call.
Hoppopotamus. So
Hippopotamus.
I'm excited to see the show, and hopefully, actually, I was thinking if Brett's listening, when I go up there for that, I'm hoping to get Brett on the podcast. He's a big music fan, friend of mine, and hopefully we'll get him up there. He said he was going to take me to a couple of the vinyl shops up there.
Cool.
They might have
Very
so
cool.
That'll be cool. So hopefully we work that out, Brett. But Jake, what do you got for us today, man? I saw you writing it down a little bit ago. So,
Mine is the complete opposite of anything I've.
so it's not satanic.
No, it's depressing.
Okay.
No,
all right,
no,
sure.
I went with Elliott Smith. I don't know if any of you guys even know who he is.
I've heard of him. I know you've talked about him.
I have talked about him. He's more of an acoustic guy. It's if any of you guys ever seen a movie Good Will Hunting?
Oh, yes.
Okay, the song Miss Misery, that's Elliott Smith.
Very nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
So, and that was like his high point. He had 2 records out. Oh wait, let me count that. 1, 2, 3 records out before that. And the record I'm doing is Either Or, which I could really just do Elliott Smith. It really doesn't matter. But if he was in a band before this called Heat Miser, which was like a post-punk type of thing. Had a guy in there named Neil Gust, which was it was just like straight up kind of rock stuff. It's stuff you can find on YouTube. It's out there. But Elliott left that. He put out 2 solo records, and then this would be the 3rd one called Either Or. And Pitchfork gave it 59 out of 100th record of all time. So I mean, it's got some.
Right up there, huh?
Yeah. Hello, kiddos.
We're getting invaded.
Yeah, it's got. I mean, it's up there. This was right before Miss Misery came out on Good Will Hunting, so it's before he really broke big, and to me, it's one of those I will listen to it when it's winter out. If I painted stones or something like that, I'd probably listen to it while I did that.
I listen to Physical Graffiti during the wintertime.
Did you?
Yeah, that's what I usually always listen to during the wintertime.
My big thing. You know, I'm not even going to say it because this may be one of my picks of the week.
Yeah, go give us a little taste.
Yaz. How Winter Kills.
Yes.
Oh, there you
Excellent
go.
album.
There.
Yes.
You know, so I mean, I don't really got a lot. I mean, a lot of information. I don't want to bore you guys too much on this. Is he dying over there?
He's cutting
He's
a brownie.
buying, he's buying a brownie.
Oh.
No.
But no, it's got some, like I've said on probably every podcast, lyrics are very important to me. If I can relate to it, I'll listen to it. And Elliott Smith was one depressed individual. He ended up committing suicide. So I mean, with a steak knife, he didn't fuck around.
Jeez.
Screw a shotgun, screw a hanging. He took a snake knife to the heart.
A snake knife?
Snake knife, yeah.
Is that like from
Yeah.
when the Golden Child?
Yeah, stick knife. Stick knife.
The snake knife? He's like, I want the knife.
Well, that's pretty.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah, you know, you're good.
No, that's
No,
good.
it's a great record. If you've seen the movie Good Will Hunting, you've heard one of his
apples?
songs. Yes, you have.
You like apples? Sorry.
So not a terribly long pick for you, but something
No.
you definitely like to listen to.
It's definitely rainy weather.
And it's like Elliott Smith, Jeff Buckley type stuff. It's all
Perfect.
runs in together.
Perfect example.
Yep.
Yeah, it's him and a guitar, some drums on some songs.
Elliott Smith and a steak knife, Jeff Buckley in a body of water.
There you
They
go.
all end up the same way, 6 foot under.
Yep.
A snake knife.
Snake knife.
Well, fucking fortunate bastards. Anyways, so pretty good insight there. I mean,
Yeah,
what
I know,
else?
mine was pretty quick.
No,
So.
that's
no.
fine.
I mean, check it out.
I
Gotcha.
will.
Yeah, actually, no.
That's the greatest thing about this is because every time we have a pick, every time anyone's like, "Oh man, I really dig this," or "I really dig that," I always go and listen to it.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
like Guided by Voices was one. And I was
Really?
like, wow, this is really cool. Because
That's awesome because Herb actually bought Guided by Voices record.
Did he really?
Yeah, he sent me. He sent me like on the Side C page. He sent me a picture. He's like, "Look, about due to collapse." I'm like, "Oh, sweet!" So I was like, "This is what it's about. This is awesome."
And even just the other day, I shouted out to Greg Thompson because I was listening to that
Agnostic
Victim
Front.
of Pain. Yeah. And then I forgot to mention I was going to give you a shout out because this was actually like a night or two ago. I was listening to that Iommi album. 'Cause
Oh,
I was
yes.
like, you're fucking right with your what you were saying. It's like whatever song he did was a heavier song of the band the person was in.
exactly. It's like the song he did with Dave Grohl was a Dave Grohl song, but heavier than anything he's ever
Heavy
done.
Foo Fighters. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
And that's awesome that you checked it. Sorry, that's awesome that you checked out.
There you
Guided by
go.
I
Voices.
did for sure because
What'd you check out?
I don't.
I'm
I went
curious.
on. I just went on to YouTube.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do. Like if I'm doing the
Yeah.
dishes or something like that,
Yeah.
I'll put YouTube on. And I'm like, well, Jake was pretty. He's pretty into this shit. Let me check it out. And I put Guided by Voices in my YouTube, and put it on and listen to it while I was doing the dishes. And I'm like, this is really actually very good stuff.
It's very left and right. Like
Yeah.
there's really lo-fi, like Jesus and the Mary Chain type of
That's the
stuff.
stuff that I've only listened by Guided by Voices,
Yeah,
the
but-
Jesus of the Mary Chain style stuff.
Yeah, and then they got their
Very
studio
cool stuff.
rockers. It's very left and right, and it's all very good. If you're gonna listen to Elliott Smith, you can do Heat Miser too. It's the same kind of deal. But this record, either or, this is just like something you can put on. Like you painting stones, seriously, man, throw it on. Just fucking paint some stones.
Yep.
Do it. I mean, it's like just one of those records where you just sit around the house, raining, snowing out, whatever. It's one of
Now,
those.
am I going to
records.
want to use a steak knife when I listen?
You,
Steak
snake
knife,
knife,
steak knife, whatever.
There is definitely some depressing lyrics on this one. Not the one. There's a record that came out after he passed away called "From a Basement on the Hill." It was done obviously while he was going through a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And that record is probably the most depressing record I've ever listened to. Like, Morrissey, he gets depressing in his shit.
Yeah.
When you read the lyrics to the Elliott Smith stuff from a Basement on the Hill, it's the most depressing shit I've ever listened to in my life. But it's good. Like there's a couple lines where he's like, "I can't prepare for death any more than I already have." So he's like already like while he's, and then one line that he always sang, I think it's called King's Crossing.
Yeah.
Well, hello,
Oh,
puppy.
puppy there.
And one of the lines in the song called King's Crossing, it goes, "Give me one good reason not to do it."
Yeah.
And at the time, his girlfriend was always going to his shows, and there's a couple live, like, bootlegs or whatever, where you can hear her yelling in the background, "'Cause I love you."
Yeah.
So it's just like,
Some pretty.
damn it, man, No, it's really depressing, and he takes you in some deep, dark places that most people don't ever go to,
Sounds-
and it's bad.
If you guys have listened to Jeff Buckley,
Jeff Buckley was there too.
him and
Honestly, yeah, Jeff Buckley. If nobody's ever heard of Elliott Smith, and they've heard of Jeff Buckley, you're gonna get. It's about
One of my favorite songs that has ever been recorded by any band is Hallelujah.
and
Jeff Buckley does a beautiful version.
yeah,
of Hallelujah.
yeah, and if you dig that, if you dig Jeff Buckley, you're gonna dig Elliott Smith. I promise you.
See,
So
and-
there
and-
you go.
Back to a point that you made, Jake. Again, I gotta plug the Quad City Music lovers, collectors, and traders page because this is what exactly
What it's
our
about,
intent
yeah.
to do. Don't laugh at me. I got it. I'm trying to get it. Nez is having a fit over here. But anyways, this is what we set out to do: to listen to new stuff. Guided by voices, Iomi,
I
Agnostic
love
Front,
that.
whatever.
I love that this is happening though. Like
So-
honestly, like we're all learning shit.
yeah. And
That's
even,
the best thing about this, and I got to give fucking Ness his fucking props for
Yeah.
this. This is the best thing about this podcast. This, the Quad City Music Lovers, Traders, Listeners,
it's not me this time.
No, but
all
yeah,
of that.
it-
That's the best thing about it is because every time I see something, I'm like, oh yeah. Some of the stuff that we see on there, I'm like, oh my god, why would anybody listen to that really? And then some of the time, I'm like, oh wow, let me check that out.
the best thing was today was when I put down who's your favorite guitar player.
Yeah.
And people just naming off Satriani and Eddie Van Halen or whatever else is like Chuck motherfucking Treese. If you guys don't know who Chuck Treese
Right.
is, look him up.
You know what's funny about that is I thought about. You notice I did not comment on that
I guess I didn't pay any attention.
because my thing is when you say your favorite is someone who should encourage you to up your game. As a guitar player, the people who encourage me to up my game are not big name guitar players.
So why'd you put him down?
My thing, I have 3, and I may go onto the thing and post them later or whatnot. And I don't want to be a
But I'm not a
fanboy.
guitar player. I'm not a guitar player at all.
I don't want to go on and be some big fanboy. But number 1, Brian Miner. Brian Miner, when
somebody
he was
posted his name on there and he commented back. Yeah, Brian Miner.
was the guy that when I was a kid who came to school at Lincoln School dressed as Kiss, and I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Brian. I don't want to talk too much about him, but no, I like him. But no, he's one of those multi-talented guys that's just kind of got stuck here. He can sing like a motherfucker. He can play drums. And he can bust out the opening like the Hot for Teacher on guitar. It just drunk off his ass fucking around. And he can do it like and you're not the only one that mentioned his name. Somebody else posted his name on there.
The minor disturbance guy, right?
Yeah.
Not to plug his stuff.
No,
because he's way
but-
better than a.
Well,
than,
no, but see, Brian does different stuff than we do.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're going to talk about it. Brian has musical guys on his show, and they talk more of the musical, like, technicalities of playing and, like stories and stuff from that kind of thing. We do.
Yeah.
We talk about music.
general discussion.
They're more like, so when you have your amp set up, blah, 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 and then you
They're
turn
like
on
the
film.
tech nerds. Like,
Yeah, well, yeah, and they really are.
Which is cool, that's fine.
I'm happy for him. I love.
No, I'd love to have him on the show.
Yeah.
But
You know-
I've known Brian since grade school.
Yeah, I've known
See,
since.
there we go. Yeah, I have
But
no.
the second person that I was going to put on there is my nephew Anthony, Tony Phillis. He is. If you guys would meet him, and I want to have him on. He's a guitar player for a band called Post AD, and they are a really pretty heavy band in the area. But Tony he's one of those guys that when he started playing, I'm like, you little shithead, you're 10 times better than I am. I've been playing since I was 13. and just watching him play and watching him able to do what he does, it's fucking crazy. So that's why I didn't comment on your guitar player.
Well, it's just, you can post generic things or whatever else, but it's I just get a kick out of it. It's like, people will just put down the obvious.
Yeah. Well, mine obviously...
Dig a little deeper than that. Yeah. I also was going to say Les Paul. There was a picture of a Les Paul in the picture. Yeah. And I'm like, if it wasn't for Les Paul and Leo Fender, y'all would still be plucking on fucking acoustic guitars.
Right. And I think Greg Thompson kind of won the thrill when he put Robert Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because, if it wasn't for him...
No, I got it right when I said Dr. No.
Cool.
Dr. No.
When I said Dr. No, I got it right.
Well, I was going to say Doctor Who.
Doctor. Oh, let's not talk about the Who. Right? We're not Whovians here. So, but Wilkins, since we got you anyways, as long as it's not Who, what do you got for us this week? Because I know
my pick. Yeah. Okay, so my pick was to go back to what Nez was talking about last week on the podcast about the roots of what we all have: heavy metal, heavy rock music. Mm-hmm. In general, it all comes from Delta Blues. It all started somewhere.
Truth.
And bands that continue that, the mantle, they hold the gold standard of what is and what is not rock music. And I chose Blues Pills.
Never heard of Blues Pills. So this
from
is
Sweden.
Awesome.
Blues Pills is from Sweden. Okay. And they are, I was telling Vic about this before the show. I was listening to Scorpion Child on YouTube, and a song called Devil Man from a band called Blues Pills came on, and it blew me away. It blew me away so much that my idea for... I've been wanting to start a band ever since I got back to the Quad Cities. My idea for starting a band changed when I heard Blues Pills. They are, like I said, and I tried to look up online to find some ideas of, because I've got some of their, I've got their only full-length album from, ironically enough, Nuclear Blast Records. And so they're considered hard rock, blues rock, psychedelic rock, and I've got their only full-length album on vinyl. And I bought it from Nuclear Blast .com.
Oh.
And so, anyway, I couldn't find a whole lot of ideas or any information really on the album, so I figured I would talk about the band. A couple of the guys, Zach Anderson and Corey Berry, started out in the band called Radio Moscow. And they were actually in Iowa when they met the singer, Ellen Larson. And the lead singer of the band is female. When you hear her voice, it's one of those voices that you hear and you're immediately like, oh my God. It's...
Like soulful kind of...
It's soulful. I mean, I played some of it for Vic before you guys got here. Yeah. And holy Christ.
It's really, powerfully grabbing.
Like Janis? Like that
it's
powerful?
Yes, exactly. It's like Janis Joplin when you hear "Piece of My Heart," and that the primal scream in the middle of "Piece of My Heart."
Yeah, that's
think of
so
that.
Beautiful.
Blues Pills is like if Black Sabbath were a little more bluesy with a badass female singer. That's what Blues Pills would be. And holy shit, my God, I'm telling you without any doubt. I mean, it totally, completely changed my view of what I wanted to play when I grow up. That kind of thing. I mean, I have been in every kind of band you could think of in your entire life. I've been in metal bands, I've been in blues bands, I've been in every kind of bullshit band you'd ever want to think of. And this is what I want to do when I grow up. Because holy shit.
So an edgy, harder, bluesy sound, but still within the realm of a good rock album. Is kind of
right. They have that same vibe as 70s rock bands. Not so much Big Arena, Journey, and all of those, Foreigner, and all those kind of things. But when you think of that bell bottoms and long ass hair and just, reminding yourself that the blues has a huge part of the the family tree of rock. You know,
Right. It's really the base of it. It's the roots.
right? I mean, it is. And these guys delve deep, and the funny thing is they're from Sweden.
Yeah.
So it's like to think of a Swedish band being so bluesy and so groovy and just feeling that groove. I remember, even with White Zombie, when White Zombie first came out, I remember thinking, God, there's just that groove. When you hear that when they're playing, there's just a groove there, and it's the same thing with this band. I was like, wow. I mean, the groove that you get when you listen to these guys, they've only been around. Their debut album was 2014.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
So something really new.
I mean, it's
really
like
new.
really brand ass new, and so I mean, and everything that I've learned from, like I said, I went on Nuclear Blast's website, and they had their album, and it's the one I got was a kick-ass green and like pukey looking vinyl. I mean,
Nice.
it's crazy looking vinyl, but and they've only got the one full length album, and a live album, and then several EPs.
Oh, cool.
But they're huge where they're from, but they're not so big here yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, given time, I mean, holy crap, these guys, if they don't explode on this continent, there's something exactly wrong with this continent, because it goes exactly
that's the
back.
problem.
Well, that's the problem, and that's the thing. They played Montreux Jazz Festival. I mean, they played all of these things. It's like you go back to what we talked about last week, and Nez made a beautiful and so true statement last week with all of these bands. We're losing that.
The blues part of rock.
The dirty part of rock. The bluesy. When Guns N' Roses' first album came out, what was it that kicked everybody's ass? It wasn't the fact that it was Guns N' Roses. It was the fact that those guys took blues music and they made it even sleazier and dirtier and more kick-ass than anything else.
And the problem is nobody these days are influenced by your Joe Perrys or anything like that anymore.
Well,
because
you
know,
that's right. But here's the thing: is that what inspired Guns N' Roses to be Guns N' Roses? Well, a big chunk of it was Hanoi Rocks. Hanoi
Exactly.
Rocks in Europe was
Right.
the sleaze band.
I mean, they stole their looks, and I mean,
Right.
honestly, like if you look at Hanoi Rocks, you take a picture and you put them next to Guns N' Roses, they basically ripped them off. I mean, they don't want to ever admit it. I mean, they say,
Well, then,
Razzle had the hat, but Slash had
well,
the
if you
hat.
look at the lead singer of Hanoi Rocks, he did Dead Jail and Rock and Roll
with Guns N' Roses, yeah. And
So,
he still looks like a glammy motherfucker. If you guys ever look at him on Facebook, he still has the spiky hair. He still wears the makeup. He still wears the lipstick.
right?
and he's still-
Mike Monroe.
Yeah,
Mike
and
Monroe.
Mike Monroe, and
But
he's awesome.
Here's the thing: is like, and there was a big discussion on the Quad City music lovers and collectors and traders thing about Avenged Sevenfold. There was some distaste between some people.
Yeah.
The guy loves them, other people just don't like him. I'm kind of caught in the middle. I really don't know what to think about him. And here's my thing: is that, yeah, maybe they're onto something. Maybe Avenged Sevenfold might be onto something. They do have quality musicians.
Yeah,
If you have quality musicians, does that mean it's quality music? No,
No.
it does not. But my thing is, I have a 17-year-old son, who has no knowledge of anything
Oh,
to
yeah.
grasp a hold of a band like Avenged Sevenfold.
See, we're not the only- I'm not the only one.
Sevenfold,
Suffering.
and put them on a pedestal and say, "This is my Guns N' Roses."
All right.
There is
He's-
nothing like
he's
that
got a
anymore.
lot of
There is
electronics.
nothing like that anymore.
Right, and so I understand that point. I mean, like, City of Evil, I think, is a great fucking record. I love that record. After that, I'm kind of lost. Like, I like that record. I think the lead singer, Shadows, right?
M Shadows
It's
and
Mike-
Sinister Gates.
That's a
and,
guitar player.
I think okay. Here,
Shadows-
let me. Okay, before you start, let me go on to let me get on my soapbox, as I
Yes.
have a tendency to do.
I like your rant, so
I
right
have a
on.
tendency to go on my soapboxes, and I apologize to Vic and Nez and the Pride of Barstow, but I think it is a cocksucking bullshit thing when you're like, oh, my name is actually Billy Johnson, but I'm going to be known as Sinister Gates because that's Johnny Kickass for fucking rock and roll and metal. No bullshit. Your name is given to you. I think it's jackass to come on and be like, well, my name is fucking. I could change my name tomorrow to Matt. I
agree with you
Johnny
100%.
Kick-Ass.
I agree with you 100%.
See,
But it's been done since
Of course,
the day
it's
of
been
time.
done, but it's still
Look
bullshit.
at Bonzo.
I don't
I mean,
give a goddamn.
what's a Bonzo?
Bonzo's a nickname.
Exactly.
Bonzo's a nickname.
Okay.
Sinister Gates is not a
Okay,
fucking
okay.
nickname.
But what's
All right.
Dr. No? What's Alice Cooper? What's HR?
See, but Alice Cooper will
Bullshit.
tell you Alice
That's
Cooper
what it
is
is.
Alice Cooper is a character. When Alice Cooper talks about Alice Cooper, Alice goes, when Alice is this. He doesn't refer to himself as Alice. He refers to Alice as a different entity.
But there's all these people that have used these monikers, and I think it's Marilyn Manson and whatever else. I think
Yeah.
you're right. It's
to have a
it's
whole
been,
fucking band named after. Okay,
Yeah.
let's take a fashion superstar and a serial killer, and let's meld their names together. Okay, that's pretty fucked up. I'm sorry.
I can wait. Before let's not bash Guns N' Roses in this because somebody brought that up earlier.
I did.
Slash
Bill Bailey, W. Axl Rose.
William. Okay, let's stop. Rose was his real dad. That's where Rose came from. Will, Bill, Axel, nickname. Izzy Stradlin, his real name.
What is he straddling? Is he straddling a goddamn pickup fucking
Hold
horse?
on,
What's he
hold
doing?
on, hold
Who
on.
cares?
His real name is Jeffrey Isabel. There you go.
okay, it still doesn't matter.
Slash
Well,
is a
anyways,
nickname.
let me
Then it
reel
should have
it.
been Izzy Isabel.
Let me reel it back in.
Slash was a nickname given to him by a friend of his dad.
Let me-
that
let me
I
re-
see. That's a nickname.
Hold on.
Nicknames are fine. Like calling yourself The Edge or Sting or something like that. Okay, fine. Do that. But god damn it, don't come on there and be like,
Papa
no.
Irma-
I'd be like, well, I'm okay, here's the thing. From now on out, okay, in my new band, my name's going to be Johnny Kickass. That's my new name.
I think it'd be Johnny Donuts.
Fucking Johnny Bag
Jimmy
of Donuts.
Donuts. Jimmy
My
Donuts.
new fucking name is Johnny Bag of Donuts. That's my new fucking goddamn rock and roll
That'd be
name.
kick-ass.
And
Be on the lookout.
tell
for that.
everybody else.
Victor's
Johnny
in
Bag of Donuts.
hold on. Victor's in a hurry to get this podcast over with because he's got important legal documents.
And I really enjoy this podcast, but like I said, we gotta reel it back in a little bit. So we can discuss the nicknames on the Quad City Music Lovers, Collectors, and Traders page. So make sure you guys get active with this because Matt's probably got a lot to say on this. Nez, I'm sure can go back and forth, but make sure you guys are getting on the page though because this is the perfect subject for the pages. Even the Lovers page or the podcast
Lovers
page.
page, podcast page.
So be
my
sure-
personal
Are we going to have a
page.
nickname for the podcast page? From
Yeah.
now on, the podcast page is known as
QCMLT.
the Maltese Falcon.
The Quad Cities Music Lovers
and
dancing
Maltese Falcon. Quad Cities Music Lovers.
We'll switch it to
Maltese
Danzig.
Falcons.
It's the new
It's
name is Danzig.
The new name is Danzig.
So anyways, let's just
You just gotta try.
we just caused the cramp the first time
Nez
ever on the
just shit
show.
himself.
He did not shit himself or cramp. So,
I think
but all right. So
sorry,
let's calm
maybe
it
Victor's
down.
ready to
It's
go,
okay.
and we're like
It's
over
all
here.
right.
We still got another one to go through.
There
Okay,
you go.
Blues Pills, check it out if you haven't. Do it.
Elliot Smith, check it out if you haven't. Do some dishes and do some Elliot Smith.
I do dishes
check
every
some-
day. I will check out your
Chat,
Elliott Smith.
why don't you post it on Herb's site and we can all
Oh,
do
there
it
we
in a
go.
nice
There we
thing
go.
of it.
I'll do it.
Cross.
So-
I have posted it either on our site or Herb's site, and
The
Greg
Bill-
Thompson and I talked about it because he suggested Duffy as a similarity between the two.
Oh yes, I do remember that conversation. So
Man,
we
this
will
is-
check that out.
This
So.
is, sorry, real quick while
you're
he's rubbing. And Filmy.
He's rubbing.
Okay, I'll try that. The one thing, it's cool that we're all like, trying new music and shit, but I've met you out of this.
Right.
I've met Victor. I reconnected with Thompson, who I haven't seen before that podcast, haven't seen in years. I think that's another great. I met Herb. Herb is a really cool dude.
Herb Morgan is my brother.
I think that's another cool thing of
Carducci?
Doug Carducci.
I met. Well, I've known Carducci evidently. When I saw him, I recognized him. But
There you go.
but it's like it's just one. That's another cool thing is that Nesbitt has brought all of us together in a sense, even if it's just us bullshitting on Facebook
So,
or
yeah. So
it's
don't
kinda-
be afraid to post. I mean, that's what
Maybe
we're
you can
here
get
for.
on. We always need a guest because obviously it's just us here sitting around.
Bobby Thornton is committed for July 9th.
Ooh, all right. So there we go.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well,
Metal
can't wait
Bobby,
to
that's
get
my
him on
boy.
here, so.
Dude.
That'll be another interesting.
Bob Thornton and I have rocked the fuck out to so much metal You guys don't even want to know.
And it's too bad that Robert Montgomery Thornton has totally dominated you on the voting of the albums.
All right,
You
so
know,
Not today.
leave it
Not
at
today.
that. We'll
It's so
see where it
funny.
comes ahead to on July 9th.
it's so crazy how all this is intertwined because I met him not through you guys. I met him when I worked at at a store, and me and him have talked metal for years ever since then. And
It's so incestuous, is it not, Matt?
There you go.
it's all
Yes.
intertwined. Well, hello, Papito.
It is incestuous.
Oh, here comes the
there's
mascot
dog
again. Well,
All right.
perfect transition.
Nez, you probably should.
Nez, what do we got? What do we got this week?
Well, I've always preached the importance of 1989 to you guys,
Yes.
and so there's
Very
been
good.
a lot of great albums in 1989. It was the Cult Sonic Temple, it was the Cure Disintegration, but there was an album that was bypassed.
That's yours.
Okay, whichever one is mine.
I don't care.
Oh yeah, I'll take a Pilsner. That's fine.
All right, I'll take a German style ale.
I'm drinking the pale ale.
So
Thanks, John Vanderwally of Skeleton Key.
exactly,
Thank you, Skeleton Key.
he
for
doesn't
the
realize that all the
brouhaha.
beer that he bought is going to be gone by the time we leave tonight.
I don't think
I
he was
think
hoping
he
for any
does.
leftovers.
Okay. I used to be a big skateboarder, Powell Peralta skateboarder when I was in high school.
No, really?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
I still have my Tony Hawk Pal Peralta skateboard.
I used to ride.
Before Birdhouse.
I had a Steve Caballero
Bones Brigade.
Powell
There you
Peralta
go.
with Santa Fe.
I met Steve Caballero.
Santa Fe, Santa Cruz wheels.
I met
on
Steve
it.
Caballero and Dwayne Peters at the first Vans Warped Tour.
Ah.
I'm a pretty badass guy at playing skate and Tony Hawk on the video
yeah.
games. That's about as far as I go because
Tony Hawk
you know,
5 got announced for E3.
I know, I'm
So
excited.
anyways, we'll talk about it.
But
another
yeah,
time.
Woohoo! Okay.
I can't
So
skate.
back to the
Shit,
skating.
sorry.
As
No, I used to be a subscriber to a Thrasher magazine.
Oh yeah.
The Thrasher magazine, the skateboard magazine, also always publicize plenty of good albums on their advertisements. And so a band that they were plugging big time was Excel from SoCal, California, Los Angeles, Hollywood. Was an album called "The Joke's on You," and it was one of the hardcore crossover to the thrash metal crossover to the hardcore, and they came out and they spit out this baby. And this was supposed to be their pride and joy. It was supposed to be their Metallica Black album. It was supposed to be whatever anybody wanted to say it was, but it was their big time production. It was on Caroline Records.
Caroline Records.
And it was Caroline Records is my favorite.
Yes.
Outside of IRS and the Sabbath stuff, it was probably right up there. It never hit anything on the major charts, but it was considered to be their best release, and it was still the 4 original members, and it was considered the classic lineup.
who's the classic lineup?
The classic lineup is, let me double check and make sure I got to know everybody, is Dan Clements on lead vocals, which he still is, Adam Siegel on guitars, Sean Ross on bass, and Greg Sainez on drums.
All right.
Now, Greg Sainez and Adam Siegel both left the band after this album came out. And so in 1989, the next album that came out was about 5 years later, was 1995, Seeking Refuge. The album itself had it came to not what I call critical acclaim, but it came to acclaim on the fans of that scene at the time. It was a good seller. It was never going to be a top 40, a Billboard charts type seller.
A cult following. Then.
A cult following, totally. It was recorded in April of 1988 through March of 1989 at the Music Grinder Studio in Hollywood, California. It had a vinyl version and a CD version. The vinyl version had a total of 39 minutes and 49 seconds, and the CD version had a total of 43 minutes and 13 seconds. So kind of interesting little tidbit.
Yeah.
The album itself, The Joke's on You, it had it had actually 2 covers. There was a white cover and then a black cover, and the black cover came out in 2001.
So wait, did you say the CD or the vinyl?
It came out in CD. It came out in CD and vinyl in '89.
Okay.
Under a white cover, and then the 2001 reissue, it came out in a black cover, and that album itself was actually 63 minutes and 10 seconds, and
What the hell?
Now,
So is that one you own?
I own it.
Oh, okay.
And I own an original
How
copy.
many
of it.
copies do you have?
One.
Oh,
The one, because it's really extremely hard to find.
Yeah, it's. I mean, like you were saying, garnered more of a cult following than a commercial.
Right, it was big with the southern SoCal scene with the skaters and everything back in the Pau Peralta, Santa Cruz days
Yeah.
of that scene. Now, that being said, I don't know, to give you a couple of songs off the album, the big one that I felt was the best song on the album was called Tapping Into the Emotional Void. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that song or if it even sounds familiar to you.
It does.
It's a fantastic song, and they.
I'll do
Fantastic.
it
I
anyway.
didn't say it. I didn't say it.
Because
Fantastic's a new
And
amazing.
they redid "Message in a Bottle" by the Police.
Oh,
So
nice.
that being said, the vinyl release had 11 tracks. The CD version had 12, and the 12th track was on the CD was called "Blaze Some Hate." And then in 2001, they had 17 tracks, and "Cultured," "More Than You Ever Know," "Soul Sick," "Withdrawal," and "Priorities Astray" were the extra songs that were put on the
Did you
CD.
buy that one?
No, I do not.
So was
Why
that
don't you
one
buy
of
the
those
re-release stuff?
original?
Because, as you know, Greg Thompson will tell you, the first album is good, the rest of it sucks.
Exactly.
But that doesn't
So
count for
all-
a
all-
re-release.
No, what's really interesting about this band though is that two the members still keep the band alive.
Oh.
Dan Clements and Sean Ross, the bass player. Dan Clements, the lead vocalist, and Sean Ross, the bass player. They still tour. Now I think it's still predominantly West Coast stuff,
Yeah.
but they still predominantly tour. Great band. If you guys have not heard this album.
Do yourself a favor.
I'm not gonna say do yourself a favor, but Matt Wilkins, this might be one that might change your life again.
Right on.
It might. I don't.
I love the
You know-
SoCal punk sound. That is
Yeah,
my thing.
yeah.
Salsa Distortion, Rancid.
It's
Lars
nothing like
Francis
that. It's
and the
nothing
Bastards.
like that.
So
though.
okay, if you had to
SoCal
compare it to
sound,
one other.
If I would have to say,
Popular,
if I was
Go
gonna
Bad
could
Brains.
compare them to a SoCal sound, I'm gonna give you the Suicidal Tendencies, "How I Laugh Tomorrow If I Can't Smile
Okay.
Today" type
One
stuff.
of my favorite albums of all fucking time.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, if I was going to compare it to anybody, that would be the album. This album, I would be somewhat comparison to. I think this is a better album.
Oh,
Oh,
Whoa.
damn.
No, I gotta check that shit out.
well, I think
I
we're
got to know.
I think we're definitely checking some stuff out tonight, man. So
Yeah, I mean, I gotta be working
I-
6 hours.
took the day off work tomorrow. So
Fuck you.
yeah.
I work in an office. Fuck all y'all.
Oh, but yeah. I
I
might be
sit on
working
a
in
fork
office.
truck and pretend not to fall asleep.
Pretend.
I'm not
Pretend
walking
I
at
can't
all.
talk.
I'm not working at all tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go.
No, you're gonna go find all those. What Goodwill do you go to? Seriously, I
No
hate you.
shit.
I
We
went
need
to
a
the
Goodwill
Goodwill on Rock
together.
Island, and then
Okay.
I was at the Salvation Army when I found the Descendants and the
Yeah.
Black Flag up there in Moline, right over by the old Belgian village up there.
Old Town.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Son of a
go.
bitch, it's
So
right
he
up
doesn't
my
I
have
was
to go
just
far.
at that one. You must have. I was. Oh,
He
that's the
finds
beauty. That's the beauty of like garage sale
Every day,
stuff like that. Yeah,
something different.
Yeah.
And not only that is like I'm going to tell you guys a little secret. It's almost impossible to find jewel cases for CDs anymore. So I go to garage sales and they'll have like Christmas CDs
Yeah.
and whatever,
Some
and
of
I
them
buy
still
them for
wrapped in-
I buy them a quarter a piece. I'll Jew people down to a quarter a piece. I'm sorry that was anti-Semitic, but I do.
Totally. Racist.
But I do, and I will take them home, and I will take the covers out, the CD out, and I'll throw it in the garbage can so I have extra jewel cases because those babies will break if you slightly falls out of your hand or you bump into something, and I do that.
About
Good
5
idea.
years ago, there was a place I knew on the avenue that still sold them.
They don't.
They don't do it anymore.
No, they do.
Oh.
So
Well,
that's
too bad
my
for them.
secret. I go to
Okay.
garage sales and I buy holiday CDs
Well,
and everything else.
It's not so secret anymore here on
Well,
the Side Seat Podcast.
You gotta beat me to them.
There you go.
It's gonna be
Right.
like the Salvation Army Christmas sweater sale now.
Yeah,
They're gonna have the jewel
exactly.
cases. These Christmas CDs are gonna be $1
So
piece
all
now.
5 of our listeners are gonna go buy the
Oh,
brand new
ding.
jewel cases.
You're in
So.
trouble.
All right, guys. Well, that was a pretty good episode.
You think so?
I know that it's probably my fault for keeping it short.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I
Me
promise
being an
you,
hour
I'm
late has
trying
nothing to do with it.
I got all
Exactly.
kind of shit I can still talk about.
I know.
You do, but we will.
You know
we're gonna
what? We-
hold on. Keep them in the paddock.
Well, that's what I would say 1 second. We need to have
The Matt Wilkins Show.
no a rant segment for you because you do it every time anyway.
I do,
and I enjoy it.
I tried to keep myself reeled in tonight, regardless of how much I had to drink. I still kept myself behaving. I still behaved myself.
We still got more to drink.
When we're done with this, snap a picture of all these bottles.
Oh yeah, yeah.
these-
There's
these
more
are-
over there too.
Oh,
So
there's a couple down here.
let me pay the bills real quick. Rolling
pay
Smoke Barbecue behind
Delicious.
Kavanaugh's,
My
14th
friend
Avenue.
Mitch Woods.
Mitch Woods runs Rolling Smoke. Tell him you want the Lucifuge burger. Maybe he'll get
Yes.
it on there. Go check him out in
I need
Rock
the
Island
spicy
behind
fucking burger.
Kavanaugh's Hilltop Bar and Grill.
Maybe you can name it the Side Sea Burger.
The Side Sea Burger. That's
You know,
right.
and-
We need a side sea burger with blue cheese and mushrooms.
no, we need a
Good.
side sea
Shut
burger.
up, you. You're
with-
younger than me. Shut up.
No.
I'll rank you.
We need pepper jack cheese
You need
with
to shut up.
jalapenos and some kind of chili sauce. and
Side
some-
Sea
And he's not
Burger.
even Mexican.
No.
I
Side
like spice.
He kind of looks like he's
Fuck
Mexican.
you
Yeah, I
guys.
do.
Looks like he's
Yeah,
Mexican.
I
He
do.
does though.
Fuck you guys. Side Sea Buffet. That's all I'm saying.
Oh,
There we
Listen,
go.
this dude over here is like, I want to eat a lot.
I do. So make sure you go check out Rolling Smoke Barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you check out the pool man, Mark Reedy. Call him for all your above and below ground.
Does my
In
basement
ground,
count
in
as a
ground.
pool?
in ground? Oh yeah, I
There's
saw
a
that
lot
picture.
better chance of me eating a fucking hamburger than there is getting a pool.
All right, but
My
if you do
basement
have a
was
pool,
knee deep in water.
below ground pool, make sure you
We'll talk
guys
about
check
after
that
this.
out.
Yeah.
We'll post it. If you see our new graphics, our buddy J Cube, he's putting them up.
Very
so make
cool.
sure you check
Hey,
out. click
awesome
out.
job with that.
Thank you,
guy.
Jeff. Appreciate it.
Jeff.
Aubrey, thank you for
You
the
can point
Side
at
Sea
the phone,
logo.
but they can't see you.
Yeah, we're pointing at
Yeah,
the
we're
phone.
pointing
Ding,
at the
ding,
phone
ding.
like,
They
yeah.
can't see you, Quake. He's like, fuck yeah. They can't see that.
You know why? Why
Thank-
we can't see? Because we don't have fucking cameras.
There,
That's-
Not
we'll
yet.
get there. We'll work
It's
on
gonna
that.
happen. That'll
Aubrey,
happen.
thank you for the logo. Aubrey
Thank you,
Downey
Aubrey.
Jr. Aubrey Downey, I love you.
Robert Downey Jr.
Make sure. By the
love
way,
it.
Matt
Okay.
Wilkins. Before we leave, happy birthday!
Happy
Yeah.
Vic.
birthday.
Happy birthday
Oh, there we go.
tomorrow.
Mine
Yeah.
is tomorrow. And Nez, your son's birthday tomorrow.
Yep. Yeah,
Oh, you guys got the same birthday?
Yeah,
What's
we
his name?
did.
Orlando
That's
Bloom?
Yeah.
Orlando Bloom.
You know when we went
Legolas? What's his name?
when my wife and I went down to Jamaica over spring break.
Down to
You
Georgia.
bastards.
Looking for a soul to steal? Sorry.
Victor and Hunter. Victor watched the house for us, babysat Hunter for us for the
yeah.
most part.
The
And
music.
and I could see by the time we got home from Jamaica that night, Victor's receding hairline was going back.
It
just a
was.
little
It
bit
really
further.
is.
And the funny thing
My
was,
fitting hair.
Victor was wearing flannel shirts and bandanas.
Yeah, there you go. So,
He was like,
was.
orale!
we totally scared your neighbors, so it was all good.
He's like,
but-
don't be afraid of it. That's it.
Make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, all that good stuff on the YouTube, on the Facebook. We love you guys. Nez, any parting words for today's
Yeah,
podcast?
yeah.
Yes, like Sammy Hagar once said,
Oh.
Ooh.
you got to give to live.
All right.
Oh.
Those we go. All right, guys. Well, thanks for
Let me
listening.
take some- oh, no,
We'll
go.
see you soon.
Yeah,
Let's go get some more beers.
Beers and